Yes. So, thanks, Tupur. Now, Manish Chaudhary, Head of Research at Stocksbox, joins in on the fundamentals, and Sarvendra Srivastav, Market Strategist at 5 Waves Official, joins in on the technicals. Welcome to NDTV Profit, sir.
Hi, good evening, both of you. Thank you for joining us.
Good evening. Good evening.
Good evening. Thank you for coming.
Right.
Show.
So the first question that we are getting is from Dhunavant. He is holding 1,000 shares of Ratan India Power. Now, he purchased it at 15.39 rupees a piece, and he's asking if he should be holding or selling. For this, let's go across to both of you one by one, starting with Sarvendra. How is Ratan India Power looking on the charts to you?
I think I would being the first question, but still I would like to be little. I like to pass this one because I don't have a very strong view on Ratan Power India, and penny stocks. I have always said that try and please avoid till you have better options to trade. I think I would try to avoid this one.
Right, Manish, what's your sense on it?
I think Ratan Power India, I think there are better stocks in the power space to play. And if someone is holding, I think my suggestion would be to move to something better in terms of quality, better in terms of earnings growth. So my pick in the power sector would be more to do with NHPC and NTPC. So these two, I think, should be part of the portfolio from a 1 to 2 year perspective, as I feel that a lot of commissioning would happen and the earnings trajectory would improve from here on.
Very, very clearly, Manish, what's your pick? Should the viewer who sent us this query buy, sell or hold?
I think I would ask the viewer to sell this stock and move to the NHPC and NTPC.
Okay, so sell is the word coming out.
Okay, so next up we have Dheeraj from Hyderabad. He's currently holding 100 shares of Adani Ports at a price of 1,190 a piece. And he wants to know about the short-term outlook. So today the stock was up about 0.5%. So I would like to go across to Sarvesh on this one. Sarvesh, what do you have to say on this?
Adani Ports, right?
Yeah.
See, here I would within this for this particular group, there have been always been little news flow, and so I think this becomes a little high beta. See, only the risk profile you get. The stock is, I think it's fairly liquid. It's a good stock, but the only thing is little high beta and driven by news sometimes. But I think at current levels, I think 1180, 1200, that remains a good short-term support. We had one dip towards 1100. Over the last fortnight, but I think if I even look at a medium term, I think 1100 would be a good support area. Short term, as I said, 1180, 1200 is a support. So broadly, the stock is in support areas at the moment. So anybody wanting to look at a buy side, I think 1100 for the medium term guys, 1100 should be a support area, and for traders, I think 1180 can be used as a stop loss. So 1100 to 1180 are stop loss areas, and anybody wanting to look for targets on the upside, I think 1380, 1400 will be immediate targets, and if you give it 3-6 months, then possibly 1450, 1500 is also possible here.
Right, Sarvesh. So just as a disclaimer to our viewers, NDTV Profit, the sister channel of NDTV, is a subsidiary of AMG Media Networks Limited, which is owned by the Adani Group. Now we are getting a query from Asid. He hails from Kerala, and he's currently holding 1,000 shares of Sagility at 30.5 a piece, and is asking for a short-term outlook on the stock. I would also like to go across to Sarvendra on this one.
Not a very regular coverage stock, and I think if I go and look at the price data also, I think it's a recent listing. You don't get much price data in the sense that all you can do is look at a fairly short-term view, because data is available only from November is what I can see on my setup. So I would say that this rally from 36 is decent. So whatever we do in the short term would be a correction to this rally. I would say 38, 40, those areas, 38 especially would be a good area possibly in the short term if someone wants to take a trade on the long side. And if you are taking any trade, 35, 80 should be a stop loss.
All right. Now we've got a question coming in from Ray from Bengaluru. He's purchased about 40 shares of Persistent Systems at about 6,110 rupees last week. Now he wants to know, is it a good stock to hold on to with a 3 to 6 month period, and what is the near-term target for the stock? IT stocks, of course, have performed well in the past month, and if we talk about Persistent Systems, the stock has gained nearly 10% in the last 1 month. Let's go across to Manish on this one. So Manish, what's your view on the stock? Will it be outperforming or underperforming going forward?
I think at the current juncture, I feel Persistent Systems looks good fundamentally. The company operates in the niche segment of the IT space, and all the return ratios are fantastic. I think ROCE and ROE are trading above 23, 24. So I think on the fundamental side, the ratios look good. The company operates in the high margin business. And on the overall IT sector, I feel that in the next 3 to 4 quarters, we would see more of the discretionary spending coming in. In the recent con calls of major IT companies, most of them highlighted that they are seeing green shoots in the banking, the BFSI segment, and going forward, that would trickle down to some other segments as well. So with the kind of order book and the kind of TCV which all these IT companies has, I have a positive outlook on Persistent Systems from at least a 1 year perspective. Yes.
All right. Thank you for that. Let me also now go across on the phone line to Rehan. He's joining us from Belgaum. I think he wants to know about Gabriel India. He's holding some shares. Hi, Rehan. How are you doing this evening?
Yeah, hi. I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm very well. Thank you. So please do go ahead with your question.
Yeah, I have purchased Gabriel India at the rate of 485, 20 quantities.
And what would you like to know?
I would like to know, like, I need to hold it for a period of 6 months.
Thank you for that. Let me also now go across to the phone line to Rehan. Yeah, I think there's a bit of a problem, Rehan. Can you just mute your television? We can't hear you quite clearly right now. Repeat your question, and also I'd like to know, when did you buy this share? At what price did you buy it?
I have bought it at 485, 20 quantities.
20 number. Okay, and when?
Today.
And what sort of an outlook are you looking at, short term or long term?
Short term.
All right. So Gabriel India is the share that he's holding. He's holding about 20. Looking at short term, so Sarvendra, would you like to take that one? He's wanting to know whether he should hold, sell, or buy the share in the short term.
No, I think he's already taken the trade. He's already bought, so he's already bitten the bullet. I think I would tell him that then if you want to do a short-term trade, I think short-term for many people is like a week, 10 days. For me, short-term is 1 to 3 months. So my short-term, I think, will not work in his case. But I'll tell you, whatever he is now, he's already taken a trade. So since he's already taken a trade, might as well let it run for the next 3-4 working days. But beyond that, I think he should not hold, because this stock is just pulling back into the larger decline. The monthly setups on this, on the monthly candles on this chart are not giving me, monthly, quarterly setups are not giving me fair degree of confidence to go into my short term of 1 to 3 months and even say that you want to kind of hold it on a positional basis. So I think it's a best 3-4 day trade, a working day trade. And in that case, you are looking at a target around 490, 500, which possibly you might achieve over the next 2-3 days. And you should be keeping a stop loss below 470 here.
All right, Rehan. So that's the answer coming in for you. You should be selling it. Thank you, Rehan, for tuning in to NDTV Profit.
Thank you.
Right. So we are now getting a query from Mohit, and he's from Ludhiana, and he has purchased 300 shares of Delhivery at 340 rupees per share. The time horizon is 3 years. So for this, I would go across to Manish. Manish, how are the fundamentals looking for the stock?
I think Delhivery operates in the logistics space, and I think recently Mr. Gadkari has indicated that in the next 2 to 3 years, he wants the logistic cost in the overall economy to come down due to the improved infrastructure. So I feel Delhivery, with the kind of fleet it owns, I think it is better placed in the overall logistic landscape of India. And I think on the financial front, the performance has been on an improving trend. So if someone is willing for a 2 to 3 year perspective, I feel that Delhivery offers a good risk reward. So I think one should hold to this from a longer term perspective. Yes.
So it's a hold. Now going across to one more query that is coming. It's Ray from Bengaluru, and they've purchased 40 shares of Persistent Systems at 6,110 rupees last week. So is it a good stock to hold with a 3 to 6 month period? And what is the near-term target for this stock? So yeah.
This one's for me.
Yeah.
I think just now, possibly, earlier caller also had a query on this one. My thought here is on the ID space that, see, on the ID index, a short-term, a medium-term setup, I think those targets are all complete, whatever we thought. But this stock particularly is kind of beating it's outperforming the index as well as its peers. So it's outperforming both the NSE IT as well as the Nifty. So I think such stocks you would always like to. The strategy here is always like of a trailing stop. So if you already have trades, you would want to kind of stay in that trade and keep a trailing stop loss. So I think 6050. I think 6048 is a good level to keep a trailing stop loss. And if you're carrying longs, you should be able to carry it another 1 month, 3 months. Possible targets on the upside, I can see around 6450, 6500 initially, and maybe slightly 50-100 rupees more. So around 6500 targets. If you have trades, 6050 is a trailing stop loss. Try and ride it for another month or so.
All right. Next up, of course, we have Anil, who's joining in from Mumbai. Now, he has bought AU Small Finance Bank's shares at about 650 rupees per share. He has allocated his 50% capital in that stock, so that's quite a bit. Now, the stock has been underperforming for quite some time now. And let's go across first to Sarvendra on this one. So, Sarvendra, what's your sense on it? He wants to know, is he done the right thing? Should he continue to hold it, or should he look at selling?
I think banking, I would say we are still on the larger space, also on the banking space. I think we are on a pullback zone, and for the larger indices also, I think that we've got hurdles there. So for even for AU Small Bank, I think the psychological 600 and maybe a slight filter there, 600, 610 would be a tough hurdle to crack here. So over the next 1-3 months. So I would say not much upsides left here, and this pullback also to me looks like it's getting over. So the next leg possibly could go down. So I would say there are risks over the next 1 to 3 months, and the risk rewards don't favor staying long for an extended period of time. Maybe another 7-10 days, 7 to 10 working days. If you want to stay there, you can stay there. 600, 610 is what I see at best.
So we are getting a caller, Kamal Karma from Indore. Yes, Kamal.
Yeah.
Thanks for speaking to NDTV Profit. How can we help you?
My question is, I have about 100 shares of Kfin Technology.
Okay.
So should I hold it? I bought it level of 830.
Okay. So what time did you buy the stock, Kamal?
I bought around maybe 6 months before.
6
but
months.
I can hold for long term.
Okay, and what was the purpose behind buying this stock? If I could just ask.
Because it's a competition of CAMS, and CAMS having highest market share.
Right.
And it can be grow further, like Kfin Technology can grow further.
Okay. So there's a bit of research that has gone behind taking up this stock. So I would like to go across our guest, Sarvendra, if you could take this one. Kfin Technology, he's holding 100 shares, 280 a piece he's bought. So what he should do, like, should he just buy, sell, like he's already bought, so should he sell or hold the stock?
I think the stock is trading in a nice range. It's a 1250 rupees stock if I've got the ticker right. So yeah. So a very nice consolidation over the last 3-6 months between a range of 1000 to 1150. So around a 150 point range is what the stock is very nicely traded. the range has been broken out of. So logical targets would be ranging around 1300 levels. So we are getting close to those target areas on this breakout. 1350s, as I said, those could be best case targets here. And I think he should be booking some profits in that zone. 1300 to 1350 is the profit taking area.
And Manish, let me just come across to you as well. So what are the fundamentals of the stock looking like?
I think Kfin Technology is a proxy play on the booming equity culture in India. So with the mutual fund industry seeing the growth it has seen in the last 4-5 years, I feel Kfin Technology is best placed to ride that boom. On the financial front, the ROC, the ROE looks impressive, and the company has been generating consistent profit. And if I'm not wrong, in the last 4-5 years, the CAGR is upwards of 90%. So that speaks volume about the kind of profitability the company has maintained. The only point of concern at this point in time that it is trading at an expensive valuation. So I think from a longer term perspective, one can still hold. But if one wants to buy new shares, I would be more comfortable buying this stock on dips. Yes.
Okay. All right, so your advice right now is to hold. I think we've got a caller on the phone line with us, Kunal. He's joining in from Chennai. Hi, Kunal. How are you doing this evening? And we understand that you're holding about 500 shares of Nova Agritech. Give us a bit of a background on it.
Hi, good evening. So I came across this share in the agri field, and I found it to have good prospects. However, I'm a little unsure on what it could be suitable for, a long-term or a short-term call. So anything there would be helpful. Thank you.
All right. Manish, would you like to take that one? He's wondering if he should hold it in the long term or sell, and also if you could give him a midterm view.
Unfortunately, I'm not tracking this stock. This stock is not under my radar. Yeah.
All right. So, Sarvendra, would you like to take that one?
Yeah, again, I think today's show, stocks which are coming have got limited price history. And for a technical analyst, you want little juice there as backdated history. So here also, I think whatever data I can see on my setups is from Feb 2024. So I think, again, I would just stick to the short term here in that case, because you can't do a medium term, long term number here, because my medium term would be essentially around 9 to 12 months, and anything long term is 12 months plus. I would stick to one month, 3 month kind of a view here. Again, what I can see here is good supports around 57, 58. So if you have trades, that area first and foremost should be in your mind, that anything below 57, then the trend becomes weak here, the short term trend, and 62, 63 would be good supports going forward at the moment. And best case, what I can see in the price history, I think around 85, 90 is where it had gone a couple of months back. So with those numbers in mind, around 85 is what you can expect best case for the next 1-3 months, and 57 should be your stop loss here.
All right, so stop loss is at 57, and at the moment you would suggest holding that?
Yeah, I think looking at the short-term setups, I would say 62, 63 are good support. So I would say that you might as well hold here. All
right. Now, Lokesh from Bangalore has sent in this query. PC Jeweler shares bought at 173.49, and Ambuja Cement bought at 5,322. So he's asking if you could advise he can continue holding these stocks or book the profit. So first I'll go across to Manish. How are the fundamentals of the stocks looking like, Manish, for this one?
Yeah. So first I would talk about Ambuja Cement. I think in the last 2 quarters, or I think more than 2 quarters, the overall cement space has been under pressure, largely due to the election season and the seasonal effects. So in the second quarter also, the numbers across the cement sector were weak. But from here on, our view is that going forward, we would see the volumes coming back, and also the price hikes which might happen in the next few weeks, that would also push up earnings. So we have a very positive view on the overall cement space, and I feel Ambuja is one of the best play on the cement sector. So one should
So are you
continue to hold.
suggesting holding or buying?
Yes. I think if someone has bought it, they should hold it, and the new investors can also buy Ambuja at this current price as well.
All right. And what about PC Jewelers?
I think my view on for PC Jewelers is in the ornament industry, in the jewelry industry. I would suggest to book profits if he is holding it, and move to something better fundamental plays like Senco Gold and Titan. So my sense is that with the kind of the shift towards organized retail in the ornament industry, I feel that Senco Gold and Titan have the best network and the outlets all over India for Titan. And Senco, a majorly East India focused company, is slowly also expanding into other parts of India. So I think these two stocks would be better, and I would suggest to sell PC Jewelers and move into these two stocks. Yeah.
Okay, let's also bring in Anil. He's joining us on the phone line from Nasik. Hi, Anil. I think you have a query about Gujarat State Fertilizers. Please go ahead and give us a bit more in terms of when did you buy it, at what price did you buy it, and what are you looking for in the medium to short term? I understand that's what you're looking at.
Yeah. So I bought it around 1,000 shares 1 year back at 190 rupees.
Okay.
So I want to know whether it is worth holding for next 6 months actually. It is listing, it is quoting at less than a book price of around 300 rupees.
And Anil, just to understand the thought process behind buying this stock?
Yeah, it is very good reserves actually and low equity company. And even PE value was less actually, considering that, and quoting less than book value, considering that I had invested actually.
Okay, fair enough. So you thought it was a good buy at that point in time, bought it 6 months ago. Sarvendra, your take on it, he's looking at a mid-term view, perhaps 6 months, wants to know whether he should sell or hold it.
Stock is fairly low beta in the sense that it has got spurts of movement up or down, but usually stays still, or it will trade a tight small range. In that sense, I think we had one last flourish. If you go and see, I think around June, in fact around Jan. In fact, around Jan of this year, we had a one spot at around 300. So I think I would broadly say that right now, within a 6-12 month perspective, we are trading at the lower end of the risk reward. So we are trading at good support areas. 190, 200 have been good support areas. And I would say that 300 is what the target should be. 280 to 300 with the target going forward next 6 to 12 months. So I think I would tell him to hold, because we are at the lower end of the trading range. We are at the lower, we are at a good risk reward as far as the bulls are concerned for the next 6-12 months.
Okay, so Anil, I hope you got your answer. Our experts, of course, are telling you to hold over there.
Okay, right. Thank you.
Now Vishweswara from Hyderabad is calling us. Hi Vishweswara.
Yeah, good evening, madam. Hi, madam.
Good evening. Good evening.
Connecting me in NDTV, madam. Madam, I have 100 shares of HDFC Bank, madam, with average price of 1,550, madam.
Vishweswara, you're not properly audible. If you could just clearly tell us what is your query about?
Madam, I have 100 shares of HDFC Bank, madam.
Okay.
With the average price of 1,550.
Okay.
Purchased for the accumulated for the past 1 year, madam, with every dip.
Right.
And now it is picked up. Now shall I continue one more long term, or can I exit now, madam? With around 20% profit is there now, madam.
All right. So you're asking if you could hold for another 1 year HDFC Bank stocks, or you can sell it right away, right?
Yes, madam. Yes, madam. Yes, madam.
Okay. So for that, I'll go across to Sarvendra on this. Sarvendra, what do you have to say on the HDFC Bank?
The stock has been it had been in a tight range, and I think post that we've been able to break out of 1750. That was one crucial area between 1750. We had major tops over the last 3-4 years, and now that we've broken out of that zone, I think I would tell him to kind of hold on to the stock next 6-12 months. I think as long as you're not going back below 1750, I think that the medium to long term setups are positive because it's a long term breakout. So I tell him to hold and keep a stop and keep a 12-month plus kind of horizon here. And then in that case, 1750 will be a closing only stop loss here.
Also, if I could go across to Manish on this, so how are the fundamentals of HDFC Bank looking like? And like Sarvendra said that he should hold the stock for another 1 year. What is your take on this?
I think HDFC Bank is one of the best placed banks. I think in the last 1 year or more than 1 year, there was pain in HDFC Bank. It did not perform as per the street expectations due to the merger of HDFC Limited and Bank. But I feel now that synergies, the street would now start seeing these synergies in the numbers as we move ahead. So, and also on the valuation front, I think HDFC Bank is trading at one of the lowest multiples in its history. So, valuation wise, also HDFC Bank looks well placed, and I feel that going forward from here on, the numbers would improve. And if someone with a 1 year horizon, I think definitely we should stick with HDFC Bank. Yeah.
You're also suggesting hold on the stock. So I hope, Vishweswara, your query has been answered. Now with this, let's slip into a short break and we'll be right back. Stay tuned to NDTV Profit.
When the whole day passes like a blur, the news just whizzes past, and you're trying to stay informed. It is our job to bring you news that truly matters. At Profit 360, we cut through the clutter, the Wall Street deals, finance and policy news that could shape your tomorrow. The newsmakers, the trendsetters, and the innovators. In 30 minutes, we've got you covered. So stay ahead, stay informed, and stay profitable with Profit 360.
Headlines you start your day with. What matters worldwide is now in the palm of your hands. Get ready to seize the day and maximize your financial potential. Stay ahead of the curve with all you need to know on NDTV Profit.
Welcome back. You are watching Ask Profit on NDTV Profit. I'm Nupur Talwar Suri, and joining me, of course, is my co-host Himakshi Bahuguna. And still with us on the show are Manish Chaudhary. He's the head of research at Stockbox, and Sarvendra Srivastav. He's a market strategist at 5 Waves Official. Thank you both of you for staying with us. And straight up to Mr. Shivakumar, who's dialing in from Hyderabad. I think he wants to know about the Vishal Mega Mart and MobiKwik IPOs. Hi, Shivakumar, if you can hear us, please go ahead with what you'd like to ask.
Yeah, good evening, ma'am. Good evening to all on the screen. Just I want to know about going to list in the December IPOs, Vishal Mart and MobiKwik. Can we apply for those two IPOs? Can we expect the listing gains?
Okay. Now, Manish, would you like to take that one? He wants to know if he should be applying for this IPO. I think it lists the day after. And if, he's going to make listing gains. What's your view?
I think I have looked at Vishal Mart, so I have a view on that. Vishal Mega Mart, I think one should apply. I think the kind of expansion plan Vishal Mega Mart is into, I think we would see growth going forward in terms of earnings. Secondly, Vishal Mega Mart is catering to, I think, the masses and the lower middle class. So I think in terms of the large market which Vishal Mega Mart is catering to, I think very few players in the industry cater to such a large market. And thirdly, it is also expanding into the tier 2, tier 3, tier 4 cities as well. So I think Vishal Mega Mart, one should apply, and I am not sure about the listing gains, but yes, one should apply and hold it for a 1 year perspective, and I think it's a good buy. Yeah.
Okay, Sarvendra, would you like to take this next part of his question on MobiKwik? You have a view on that one?
No, I'm sorry. Till the time you don't list and you don't come into the secondary market,
that's a point.
very limited
All right.
that a technical analyst can do.
Yes. I hope, Shiva, you've got your answer. Vishal Mega Mart, definitely, and our analysts seem to suggest that you should hold it.
Now, viewers, keep sending in your queries. You can also call us or WhatsApp us on the numbers that are flashing on your screens right now. And now we are getting a query from Manu, who hails from Kerala. He has been holding Ujjivan Small Finance Bank shares for 1 year. So what is the long-term outlook? If we look at the performance of the stock of last 1 year, the stock has been underperforming. So Manisha, what is your view on the same?
I think the small finance banks, I think, are going under pressure a lot because of the growing NPAs in the portfolios. So I think at this point in time, my sense is that one should exit Ujjivan small finance, and I think one should move into the larger cap banking space where the valuations are much comfortable. And also, if the asset cycle turns, I think all these bigger players like SBI and HDFC Bank would be better placed to tide over the asset cycle or any stress in the banking system. So at this point in time, I'm not comfortable with Ujjivan SFB, and I would prefer more of larger banking space like HDFC Bank and SBI.
So now we are getting a caller, Jagdish Lambole. It's great to connect with you on NDTV Profit, Jagdish. Hello.
Yeah, hello ma'am. Good evening.
Good evening. So what is your query?
Yeah, ma'am, actually I'm having Chalet Hotels shares,
right.
600 quantity at the rate of 945.
Okay.
I bought it a few months back.
Okay.
Now I just wanted to know whether should I sell, hold, or how it is.
And also if I could ask you, what was the reason behind buying this stock?
Actually, ma'am, pertaining to the review, I understood that this will be a good stock.
Right.
So I can carry it and I may have a good profit out of it.
Okay. So the query of Jagdish is that he has bought Chalet Hotels, 600 shares at 944. He's asking if he could hold or sell the shares. So let me just go across to Sarvendra on this one.
See, I think the stock has given a very good return over the last four odd years. 100 rupee stock going to almost 1,000. So it's almost a 10-bagger. And once you have got these kind of returns in a short period of time, means 4 years, 10 times is a good return. Incrementally, I don't see this stock immediately breaking out or giving him more fantastic returns. And his buying price is close to the 2-year high. So he's almost bought the 2-3 year high his own. So I would definitely tell him to reduce risk and I think till it does not break out of 1,000, I don't see any traction and movement coming in here. And there's always a risk of a correction with the market, which we have already seen in a number of stocks. I think this stock is still to correct. So in any correction, I think it could easily fall towards the 750, 800 mark. So I think he would start losing money in that case. So I would tell him that the risk is high, so exit is what is my call.
Is what you're suggesting.
Yeah.
Okay, Jagdish. I hope your query was answered. Now, thanks for speaking to NDTV Profit.
Thank you, ma'am.
All right, let's Let's bring in a query from Suresh Kumar from Coimbatore, Tamil Nadu. He has a query on the technical outlook of Tembo Global. He says that it looks risky when hearing noises of the market, and he has entered at around 700 levels. So this is a very trendy stock that has gained momentum, in fact, and it has a couple or orders in the last 2 to 3 weeks. So let's get in Sarvendra on this one as well. Sarvendra, how are you looking at the performance of this stock?
Again, I think the data, if I go and look at the data, so I would see that it's a very sharp kind of a move, 200 to 800, and this is even sharper than the earlier stock that we were discussing. It's kind of rallied almost if you see it has rallied almost 4 times over the last few odd months. So I think the move is already in place. Volumes have been there, so some kind of excitement, some kind of euphoria here. Not a stock in regular coverage, but I would say it's getting risky to get risk rewards from the current prices. If there's a throwback, there's a small correction, then in that case, possibly if we can get it around 650 odd, then possibly the risk reward would merit maybe a long trade. But right now, I think he should be avoiding it. If he already has a position, then he can keep it on a trailing stop loss basis. But if he wants to enter fresh, I think he should avoid.
Right. We are going to go across right now to a caller. Krishna is joining in from Bangalore. Happiest Minds. Is that what you're looking at, Krishna? Hi. You bought it at 1390 a piece. Go ahead with your question and give us a bit of a background, Krishna, on what made you buy this stock.
Hello, namaste everyone.
Namaste, please go ahead.
Yeah, ma'am. I brought at 1390 at the Happiest Minds. So you can hold for long term. I can book the loss and exit, madam. And one more is Bank India.
Okay.
Bank of India. I have 2,000 shares for long term. I kept.
Okay.
That's so also now 7% negative. These two stocks I need to know the long term.
I just wanted to ask you, Krishna, you bought it at 390 a piece or 1390 a piece?
1390, madam. That
okay,
was
great.
1390.
Yeah. Let me go across to Manish. Manish, this is he's asking for a long-term outlook on Happiest Minds. He's bought it at 1390. Wants to know should he exit, and I think he also mentioned something about Bank of India. Would you like to take both of those?
Yeah. So first, talking about Happiest Mind, I feel that it is better to exit Happiest Mind. I feel there have been multiple red flags in this counter, especially with the kind of promoter selling it has happened. I think that is a big red flag for me. And secondly, I feel that the earnings have consistently gone down, and the valuation wise, I think it is trading upwards of 50 times earnings multiple. So I think Happiest Mind, I would suggest to exit. And if he wants to enter into the IT space, my preference would be Infosys. And from a mid cap, I would suggest Persistent Systems. So in the IT space, I think these two stocks looks good to me. And talking about Bank of India, I think it's a hold for me. With the kind of CRR cut which has happened recently on Friday, I think we would see around 1.16 lakh crores of liquidity flowing into the banking system. And all these PSU banks are well placed to grow their loan book at a faster pace. And I feel BOI is also a better place to ride that cycle. So BOI is a whole. Yes.
Okay. So we are also getting a caller from Patna. Hi, Dheeraj.
Ma'am, good evening.
Good evening. So what is your question about?
मैंने HCC 40 रुपए में लिया है.
HCC आपने 40 रुपए में लिया है?
हाँ
जी.
और अभी जो है क्या चल रहा है, मतलब क्या इसका ग्रोथ रहेगा आगे चल के?
अच्छा, आपने कितने शेयर्स खरीदे हैं धीरज?
मैडम 75 लिया है HCC.
75 HCC खरीदा है, और क्यों खरीदा है आपने? HCC?
मैम आगे लॉन्ग टर्म के लिए अच्छा मुनाफा हो उसके लिए भी और अच्छा रिटर्न हमको मिले।
और आपने ये कब खरीदा धीरज?
75 है।
नहीं, कब खरीदा आपने ये?
3 दिन पहले।
3 दिन पहले आपने खरीदा है, ठीक है धीरज?
हाँ।
So Dheeraj is asking for a long-term perspective on HCC. For that, I would like to go across to Manish. Manish, what are the fundamentals of HCC looking like?
I think from a retail perspective, I would advise to exit this stock. I think still a lot of work to be done on the balance sheet front, a lot of debt on the balance sheet. The company is consistently making losses. So I feel it is better to exit HCC. And I would suggest him to buy something of a good fundamental pick. I would suggest KNR Construction one, and second would be L&T. Okay. So I think these two stocks fundamentally looks good to me, and I feel that HCC, I think you should exit because a lot of red flags in that count.
तो धीरज, आई होप आपका जो सवाल है उसका जवाब आपको मिल गया होगा। हमारे जो गेस्ट हैं वो बता रहे हैं कि HCC को आप बेच दीजिए और उसके बदले में आप L&T खरीदिए या फिर KNR खरीदिए।
ठीक है मैडम, थैंक यू मैडम।
ठीक है, थैंक यू। सो नाउ let's go across to next one is again for Sarvendra. Raghuram Patrao from Bhubaneswar is holding 100 shares of Zen Technology at 1700 rupees per piece. He wants to know about the short term outlook. Also, he's holding 500 shares of Black Box at 550 rupees. So looking at the short term outlook for that as well.
Sure. See, for Zen Technologies, I'll be able to help him because the other one I can't, for some reasons I can't give a view on the stock, the second stock. See, on Zen Technologies, again, as I said, it's been beating its peers, it's been moving and it's been it's been outperforming both the indices, the IT index as well as the Nifty itself. I think the best scenario in such cases is that you kind of trail your stop losses and you be in the position till you are not stopped out from the market. So in that sense, I would tell him to keep a trailing stop at around 1780 and stay put in that trade and give it another month to 3 months and see if some extra juice can be extracted here. So I think around 21.50 is what is possible going forward here.
Okay, let's go across to Venkat Rao, who's joining us on the phone line. He's calling from Hyderabad. Hi Venkat, how are you doing this evening? I think you have a question of about HFCL, please go ahead.
Yeah. I bought it HFCL at the return of 150. So, hello?
Yes, please carry on.
So, shall I hold it or exit it?
Okay, so you bought it at 152 rupees a piece, 200 shares. When did you buy it?
Yeah, you are right. 200 shares at the rate of 150. But right now it is trading at nearly 130 rupees.
And
shall I hold or exit?
And when did you buy it?
2 months back.
2 months back. Okay. So, Sarvendra, would you like to take that? He's asking for a short-term view. He wants to know, should he sell it or hold it for a bit more?
I think he should be he should be booking some profits at least here because I think in this pullback looks very weak. So the stock fell from 160 to almost 110. And post that, I think the pullback has been a little weak. So I would suggest that around 135, 140, or starting from these areas, you should be gradually taking some profit here.
Okay, Mr. Rao, I hope you got your answer.
Yes, thank you very much, madam. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
Now, Pandian is picking up from Tamil Nadu. He is holding 45 shares from the Federal Bank at 212 rupees a piece. His question is that whether he should hold the share or sell it after the CRR cut by the RBI. Manish, would you like to take this one?
Yes, I think in the mid-cap banking space, private banking space, Federal Bank is one of the best placed banks. There are 2-3 reasons to it. One is recently Mr. Manian has joined the company, So I think he's a veteran in the banking industry, and in the due course, he would lay out a strategy which would be omni-channel, where he would look at all the businesses of Federal Bank. So markets are keenly awaiting that strategy. That is one. Secondly, with this CRR cut, we would see a lot of liquidity coming to this bank also, which would help the bank for fastening its credit growth. And thirdly, being a south-based kind of a bank, in the recent RBI meeting, the NRI deposit rates through the FCNR have been increased. So I think this bank is better placed to get those deposits. So all these three factors make Federal Bank one of the top-notch mid-cap private banking stock. So I would suggest a hold for this bank.
All right. So now we have one more query coming in from Jayantiran from Tamil Nadu. He's saying that he's holding 100 shares of RVNL at 35 a piece, and he's asking for a long-term outlook. So Manish, what do you have to say on RVNL?
I think RVNL has seen a lot of run-up in the past. So my sense is from here onwards, the further strength in this stock would be only a factor of the kind of execution which these railway counters do. Because I think all these stocks, though have corrected from their highs, are still trading at an expensive valuation. So I feel that it is better to exit this stock at this current price, and I would wait for some valuation comfort to again enter into these into the RVNL. Yes.
A view on that? Do you agree with him that this should be sold, RVNL?
Yes, I think the medium to long-term trend damage has been severe here. So if not here, then on pullbacks, I think around 490, 500. Yes, if that's the case, I think 500 going forward will be a big psychological hurdle now for the stock. And as I said, since the long to medium term setups are turning, the risk rewards are not more favorable any longer. So I think on the pullback, you will see some sellings because people are stuck from close to 700 levels here, and the stock sharply corrected to 400. So any pullback, I think definitely some selling will emerge. So yes, a sell on rise stock is what I would say.
Okay, I think we've got Abhishek joining us on the phone line. He's joining in from New Delhi. Hi Abhishek, how are you doing this evening?
Yeah, hi ma'am, I'm good. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. So I think you've bought 1600 shares of Tilaknagar Industries. What's the price that you bought it at? Give us a bit more of a brief on what was your thought process while buying it, and what advice are you looking for?
Yeah, so I bought it at the price of 436. And my purpose is for like a couple of weeks only, just like I just want 5% out of it. So right now I'm 3% down in it. So just want to know, should I keep it for a couple of weeks more so that I can get some profit out of it?
Okay, so Sarvendra, would you like to take that? One, he's looking at a short-term outlook. It's already 3% down, so he's wanting your view on it.
See, I think a little late is what I would say. Maybe a good stock, but a slightly bad timing, because you've bought a short to medium term top here. So next 3-6 months, I don't see much gains here. So maybe around 440, 445 or 450 max. So you are possibly looking at around 5-6%, maybe upsides pending here. But if I go and look at good levels to buy, I think those levels are all in the region of around 340, 350. So I think there's far more downside than upside possible here over the next 3-6 months. So I would, if you had to ask me, I would say that it's a sell on rise stock and try and book whatever profits he can, at least partial if possible. He should be booking profits. Right now it's below his cost, but on pullbacks, I think he should be trying to exit.
All right, so Abhishek, I hope you've got your answer. Our expert seems to think that you should be selling this.
Yeah, I got that. Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you for joining us on NDTV Profit.
Now we have Tom's Varghese. His query is that he's holding 200 power grid shares and he's bought at 358 a piece. And he's asking for an outlook for the next 6 months. So again, Sarvendra, I'm coming to you on this one. Power Grid, what's your take on the stock?
6 months, I think this one is the easiest that I've got today. I think for 6 months, if the view is only for 6 months, I think he should be exiting, and again a sell and rise kind of a stock, because the risk rewards over the next 3-6 months is not what I can fathom on the bullish side. I don't see much beyond 350, 360, but and the stock is still due for correction. So any correction here could take it back towards 270, 275. So I would say that he should be exiting.
Okay, so you should be exiting. That's the advice coming in. Let's also go across to Prithvi Kumar joining in from Bengaluru. Hi, Prithvi. How are you doing? I think you have a query on HUDCO. Please go ahead and give us a bit of a background as well. When did you buy these shares? Did you really have a keen sense on the share when you bought it?
I bought HUDCO for 175 shares at 333 price. So at the time of buying, we saw some more like some contracts getting to HUDCO. So I thought we could buy for more.
Okay, and when did you buy this? And you're looking to hold or sell in the short term or the long term?
I'm keeping a long-term view. I had bought it around 3.5 or 4 months ago.
Okay, let's take that one for Manish. Manish, what's your sense on HUDCO? He's bought it at 333 rupees.
Yeah, I think he has just bought it at the top. So I feel that from a longer term perspective, I would suggest holding this stock, as my sense is that with the kind of government focus on the affordable housing side of the market, I think HUDCO would be one of the key beneficiary of this. And with the upcoming budget, any announcements related to the affordable housing, I think this stock from the current level looks the best to move upwards. Also, the company has been consistently generating profits. So I feel HUDCO is a hold from a longer term perspective.
All right, so Prithvi, hope you've got your answer. Our analyst seems to suggest you should be holding it.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Right, thank you for joining us.
We're also getting a query from Narsingh Jadhav. He said that he's bought 10,000 shares of Yes Bank at 31.20 rupees. He hasn't mentioned clearly as to he's asking for a long-term view or a short-term view. So I'll come to both of you all. First, starting up with Manish. Manish, what are your views on Yes Bank? How are the fundamentals of the bank looking like?
I think on the fundamentals, the earnings trajectory is on an improving trend, but I think still there is some hang on this stock in terms of the news flow regarding the SBI stake in the Yes Bank, which I think there are rounds of discussions going with various global banks. So I think that's an overhang on this stock at this point in time. And my sense is there are better plays available in the banking sector. So I would suggest to exit this stock at current levels and move to something like an SBI and Federal Bank.
Okay.
Because lots of news flow still going around. So I feel it's better to exit.
All right. And what about you, Sarvendra? What are your take on the stock, Yes Bank?
See, this is a classic chart of how prices have got memory. So I think 31, 32 levels were the levels post to 2020 levels post that COVID decline and into a pullback in June, and after that all the developments and news on the counter. The first stability or the first semblance of some price action was at 31, 32 levels after that into the pullback. So this time also, if you look at 2024 highs, they are right at that 31, 32 mark. So for any incremental long-term risk reward to emerge here, I think you will have to clear that 32 mark on a closing basis and stay and hold that maybe for a fortnight, since it's such a long 4-year kind of a hurdle. In the meantime, I would say that we've been able to clear that previous hurdle of around 1820. So I would say that we are now going to be stuck in this range of around 20 to 30. on the round numbers. So I think right now we are on the lower end of that trading range. So purely from a trading angle, I think 28.30 is what you could look at upsides, and 18 could be a stop loss if you have any long trades from here.
All right. Very, very quickly, let's go across to Raju joining in from Bengaluru. 1,500 shares, Banco Products. Hi, are you on the phone line with us?
Hello.
I would request you to please mute your television screen because we can't hear you. Please go ahead with your query.
I am holding 1,500 shares of Banco Products.
When did you buy it?
1 month back at 925 rupees piece.
Okay, and are you
Banco Products,
yes. And are you looking for a long-term view or a short-term one?
Long term.
Long term, okay. Stay with us. I'm also going to bring in Mahesh. He has a question, I think, on Elecon Engineering, 100 shares. Hi, Mahesh. Take us through what you'd like to know. You're hearing, I understand you bought it at 600 rupees a piece, long-term or short-term view. What are you looking at? I'm sorry, Mahesh, we can barely hear you. Maybe you can join in later. Let me go across to Sarvendra on this one. So he's looking at Banco. What's your view on that?
We have had a recent breakout on this counter. So it had a hurdle around 780 odd levels. And we had a very fantastic breakout. And we've now gone past those psychological 1,000 marks. So that I think the 1,000 round number will now act as a good support going forward, at least next fortnight to 1 month. So going forward next 1 to 3 months, I think upsides possible here. I think you should stay in the trade. So try and get whatever juice that is possible. So use trailing stop losses. I think keep stop loss around that 1,000 mark right now, slightly below that. And you should be holding the stock for the next 1 to 3 months at least. Long term, I'm not very sure, but next 1 to 3 months, it's a hold.
All right. So I hope you've got your answer on that one. In fact, with that, it is all the time we have on Ask Profit this evening. Manish as well as Sarvendra, both of you gentlemen, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's all we have time for. Thank you for joining in, but do stay with us on NDTV Profit as we bring you more news. When the whole day passes like a blur, the news just whizzes past, and you're trying to stay informed. It is our job to bring you news that truly matters. At Profit 360, we cut through the clutter, the Wall Street deals, finance and policy news that could shape your tomorrow. The newsmakers, the trendsetters, and the innovators.